Hi, I'm Felicia.
And I'm Ryan. And this is Imzadi Podcast. Chocolate. This is Flux, Part 6, The Vanquishers. Let us begin.
Yes, let's slice into this Flux pie.
Ah, yeah, delicious. Well, I say delicious.
It has been cut 6 ways.
Yeah, it's been cut 6...
Oh,
you know what that
genuinely made me chuckle.
Oh, that was a Freudian slip.
Speaking of Freudian, don't you have a point?
Yeah, I'll make it.
Before?
Yeah.
Or do you want to do it before or after?
I'll do it organically. I'll bring it up organically. All right.
Then
very good.
Yeah.
That was foreshadowing, people. Foreshadowing. Let us begin.
Oh my god. So my first comment would be the fact that 13 could be nicer to that ood. I feel really bad for that ood.
Yeah, I know, right?
What happens?
What's his story?
I know.
Was he did he join Division willingly? Is he like a war criminal wound? Or was he like conscripted?
No, I think he was probably just like found somewhere. They were just like, oh my god, an ood. I've always wanted one of those.
I think you're right.
So
headcanon.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Tecteun definitely would want one of those, I think.
Yeah, I think.
In the collection.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's got a sensor right back there as well. She's got a Chumbly.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's got a Vord.
I know, I wish we could have seen, like, her trophy room.
I wish we could have seen it too.
Yeah.
I wish we could have seen more of Tecteun in general.
Yeah, I agree.
I agree.
She was, a bit wasted.
Yeah, very... literally.
Yeah, literally and figuratively.
I know.
She was wasted.
Dusted!
Done and dusted.
Yeah, right? Just like this plotline.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, so what's the next point of conversation?
So, I wanted to point out that, the whole bit with Kate Stewart.
Yeah.
When she introduces herself.
Yeah.
And she's just like the leader of the human resistance. And it just reminds me of like Harriet Jones.
MP for Fly Down North.
Yeah.
Hannibal!
We all know who you are. Stop.
What gets me is that she's like, I'm the leader of the human resistance. And like, it's just her.
Yeah, I know.
It's just her.
No, we know it's not just her.
Yeah, but it is...
No, because the BBC put out that thing and then didn't have any of those characters except Kate Stewart, who is the leader of the human resistance. In case you didn't know.
I didn't know that, no.
Yeah? You didn't know she was the leader of the human resistance?
Did you know that she's the Brigadier's daughter?
Oh my god, mind blown!
Yeah. Spoilers!
Yeah.
By the way.
No, the fact that she leads with Stewart.
I know, I love it. Clan Stewart!
Mm-hmm. 5 rounds rapid.
Speaking of Clan Stewart, we're Zygons. That was an organic transition.
Yeah, that actually was. Talk about your Zygons.
Right, so we know that at the end of the Zygon inversion, there's like a kind of like a much more solid piece between like UNIT and the Zygons. So I think it was a missed opportunity to not have a Zygon working for the human resistance. Oh my god, that one guy that got interrogated, for example. She did have another dude. There we go. The human resistance was Kate Stewart and that guy.
Yeah, but Kate Stewart didn't remember. It was Bonnie was the only one to remember that.
Oh,
that interaction.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, but Bonnie's Osgood.
Yeah, I know. One of the Osgoods.
Yeah, the Zygon one, because the other one's human.
You know, in that that thing that the BBC released, I only saw one Osgood. Concerned me.
Well, I mean, maybe they didn't see the Zygon inversion?
Oh my goodness, that would have been terrible.
That would have been terrible. What other terrible things are we going to talk about?
The fact of Azure opening that watch and the Doctor not getting her memories back. And somehow Swarm is now in control of maybe just that one particular memory, or what? I don't know. What do you think?
I think that they were trying to go for something a bit beyond their reach with the psychological aspects of this episode. This is actually a good point to transition into one of the big things I wanted to talk about.
Okay.
With this one that I noticed that they were going for, and like they fucked it. For the record, this isn't praise, this is just analysis. Okay, don't get too excited. So there's this idea called the Freudian Trio, and it shows up a lot in storytelling. And the idea is basically that you have 3 different components that are each meant to represent a different part of the human psyche. So you have the id, which is very impulsive and kind of animalistic. And then you have this ego, which is kind of like the center of the consciousness. And then you have the superego, which is like a lot more analytical and cold. And the Doctor being split into 3 is meant to be symbolic of an identity crisis, while also being a literal identity crisis. And it was manifested through the 3 13s.
Okay.
That's what... And honestly, I thought it was quite clever, and I was quite impressed, but it wasn't executed amazingly. Like, the actual, like, multi-Doctor stuff was really fun and really well done. But, like, the psychological theme I felt could have been harder driven and integrated more into the themes of the rest of the story, because it felt very, like, separated from the rest of it. Like, there's plot time, there's character time, there's theme time.
Yeah.
And everything should all be going on at once.
Oh, yeah, that was one of my bigger issues, was that they used the Doctor, like, how she was going in and out of places.
Yeah.
They used that as a convenient device to tell you different stories.
They broke the rules of how it worked a couple times, too. I noticed that.
Yeah, and I think that's it's a big issue I have, is that he ignores a lot of the rules that have been set in place for years, for decades, for
also,
hundreds of years.
Even in, like, this, the rules that are set out are broken, because, like, in this they establish that it's 13 going from one point in space to another point in space and time to another point in space and time, right?
Yes.
Then there's 3 of them. That's, like, initially, like, them setting out, establishing it to be one way, and then they just, like, nope.
Yeah, I know. I agree with you.
That was a little bit oofy for me. Overall, I liked this episode, but there's a lot of problems with it.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like
there
my
was
pre-spoiler...
bound to be. Oh, okay. All right.
That's my pre-spoiler opinion on this, just for the record.
All right. I feel like there was bound to be issues with this episode, just because there were so many balls in the air. There were a lot, though, and not all of it got answered, and I feel like things that did get answered, it got answered very quickly, and it was just, I wish they didn't rush certain aspects. Like, I guess it leads into my next point of Mad Mole Williamson. He's misused throughout Flux.
I agree.
He comes in way too soon, and then he's not given enough to do, and then, I mean, he basically gives the Doctor an out, and then they're like, okay, bye, you're too important to us, so you gotta go. And it's a shame, because I really love that actor. He's great.
Definitely a highlight of the season, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Victorian guy. But yeah, that's a big thing that I think they also messed up on. I guess we can talk about a good thing now.
Mm-hmm.
The Sontarans going into a convenience store for chocolate.
The chocolate
sweets.
bit. Yeah.
I feel like
talk about that.
the Doctor is the one to understand that the most. The need for sweets.
The need for sweets. The need for sweets is constant.
Yeah.
Yes, constant.
They've just had a lot more time to adjust. Sweeties.
So I want to talk about how in that scene, something that I like about it, because I imagine it's controversial. I haven't looked, but I imagine there's going to be a lot of people who think it's like the coolest thing ever, and a lot of people who are enraged about it. And me personally, there were bits about it I thought were a bit off color.
Yeah.
Like, well, not off color, off brand rather.
Yeah, okay.
And there were some things that I thought were really interesting additions to the Sontarans as a species that I hope get kept going forward. The thing I like about this is that it shows two things about Sontarans. It shows that they are hedonistic. Like, they're pleasure-driven.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I guess.
Because even when they're doing like their war stuff, they're really getting into it in a way that like the Daleks don't and the Cybermen don't.
Yeah,
and
because they don't have emotions.
Yeah, whereas Sontarans, here's the other thing as well. They have individuality.
Yeah.
Too. And the idea of them wanting to like replicate the chocolate.
Yeah.
Like the recipe and shit. That shows like a degree of capacity for culture. And, like, I think you could spin off of this one scene and make the Sontarans a lot more interesting via, like, some nifty world building. Maybe Chris Chibnall isn't the one to do it, because I think he just put it in because, lol, Sontarans chocolate. Like, I don't think that he had any of this in mind when he was writing this.
Yeah.
But I liked it for those reasons, and also because all the actors did a really good job. Generally, the acting in this pretty on point.
Yeah, I did enjoy the acting. I think Jodie really shined later on in the episode, which we'll get to.
I think she's been pretty great this whole season, to be honest. Like, in terms of her acting alone, I think writing-wise, it's been all over the place and very inconsistent.
Yeah, that's not her fault, though. And we recognize that, people. We don't hate Jodie.
No. I haven't liked 13 up until this season, to be honest. This season, I feel like we kind of, I get what she is now. I understand what kind of Doctor she is. She's like 7 if 7 was really reactive and like led by their emotions.
I just feel like it's too late.
Yeah, it is too late. But
and I don't like that.
I'm glad that we got it at all, because we might not have got it at all, and that would be a lot more tragic. Because now, like, we have a solid 13th Doctor characterization that other people can use to create a whole plethora of other stories for her.
Yeah.
Like, now, she's a Doctor that can much more easily be salvaged and made to work after her tenure.
Yeah, I suppose.
And, like, that's, for me now, that's the best thing you can possibly hope for.
I don't really think she needs the show to really be redeemed. Like, I mean, look at 6.
That's what I'm just saying.
One Big Finish, you know.
Look at the 8th Doctor.
Yeah. There's a lot. We're looking forward to her being on some audios.
Yeah, that would be cool. I would really like that. I think that's an opportunity for them to really do some interesting stuff with 13.
Getting back to the Sontarans.
Yeah, go.
You had mentioned the recipe. I'm wondering why the Sontarans couldn't look at the ingredient list on the back of everything.
Because Chris Chibnall is a bad writer. Honestly, no, that makes sense to me, because maybe they can't read English. Because remember, the only reason why everything looks English is because of the TARDIS translation.
Alright, at that point then, I'm sure that they would have something to...
That's the real question, yes.
Yeah, analyze something and tell you, well, it has this percentage of this and this percentage of that. Because people can read planets. People can read whether or not there's oxygen or whatever. I'm sure that they could read a chocolate bar.
You just made a light bulb go off in my brain case.
Okay.
Going on to what you were saying and expanding springboarding right off into that and diving into the realm of possibility. Here we go. Right. So here's the thing: the onus and the modus operandi that was set out from the beginning with these Sontarans was for them to be a lot more influenced by the classic series.
Yeah.
Right? But in the classic series, well, most notably in their appearances with the third and fourth Doctor, because that's all anyone cares about.
Yeah.
Because that's all that's good with their appearances, being real.
Yeah.
Everyone knows that's true as well. No one's gonna argue with that. No one's gonna come up and be like, no, the two Doctors is the best one. It's fine.
No, lumpy potatoes are good potatoes.
No, scientific lumpy potatoes are good potatoes. You watch the Time Warrior, you watch the Sontaran experiment. They are cold, analytical, warriors. It's not just about them being good at, the shooty pew-pews. Yeah. It's about the fact that they actually take the time to use the scientific method to understand who they're fighting. First rule of the art of war is know your enemy, after all. Ooh. Which the writers back then knew. And
dropping some heat.
I don't think Chris Chibnall does. I don't think he understood that, and that's why.
Yeah.
I just think he sees them as war people, potato war people, and there is a little bit more
hot
to
potatoes.
Them than that. Yeah, they're actually pretty interesting. There's Heroes of Sontar is a Big Finish audio with the Fifth Doctor. It's a really good take on Sontaran world building and shit.
Okay.
That's a recommendation for everyone. Speaking of the Sontaran scenes, can we talk about the Grand Serpent interrogating the Doctor and how the Doctor is weak against red?
Yeah, I know. I don't know why she turned into Supergirl.
Yeah, I know. It's real weird. Real weird choice. I mean, I suppose red is an evil colour.
Yeah, it's evil.
Yeah, it's evil.
Evil light is evil.
13, Jodie, was really good in that scene. That was probably my favourite scene with her in the entire run.
Yeah.
Her, just taking this man apart. Just dismantling this fucking guy from the top to the fucking bottom.
Yeah.
Alright, so the Grand Serpent, remember, everyone got so hyped up about him. Everyone was like, oh my god, is he the Minister of War? Oh my god, is he gonna be really significant? Oh my god, he's rewriting unit history! Nah, 2 minutes with the Doctor. 2 minutes with the Doctor, and he's a puddle of fluids. That I will not go into in any more detail.
Hot take on the Grand Serpent. Now I get to say my piece on him.
Yes, you do.
And then I feel like we should just be done with it. Grand Serpent did not need to be in Flux. At all. At all. Not one single bit.
I agree.
If you take out all of his scenes, everything would still flow.
I'm gonna put another hot take on top of that. The Ravagers and Tecteun and the Grand Serpent.
Yep.
Each one of those villains could have carried a season on their own, and should have been the season villains for each season of 13's run.
Yeah, I feel like the Grand Serpent could have been used at a different time.
He could have been fucking amazing.
I want to point out that he's the reason that Vinder is exiled.
Mm-hmm.
But
who cares?
I hate that reason. I hate the fact that, he stood up. He could have stood up for himself in such a better way. A way that meant a little bit more, going against, a different superior, in a skirmish, he stood up for himself and saved a bunch of dudes, but because of that, he got exiled. Instead of, I spoke out of turn against the Grand Serpent.
There is a lot of heat being dropped in this episode of Imzadi Podcast. I have to say.
And it would have added so much more to Vinder that we wouldn't have had to even see.
Yeah, you literally didn't need those scenes in it. He doesn't contribute anything of real value, because at the end of the day, even the unit stuff in episode 5,
Yeah.
That's all key jangling, and if that was taken out, then you could have had time for, like, characterization and shit.
Yeah, Kate Stewart can show up anytime she wants. She's Kate Stewart.
I know.
Leader of the human resistance.
More...
She knows. She knows what she's doing.
Mm-hmm.
My girl knows.
Even though, like, as soon as she shows up, she fades completely into the background of the episode.
Yeah, I know. Because her other episodes, she's shown so bright. Like a little star.
I know, she really did.
And in this episode, it was just like... She didn't need to really be here either.
You just made me think of something. More praise for Kate Stewart.
Yeah, always love Kate Stewart.
Is it Jenna Redgrave, I think, is the actor? I don't know who the actor is. Here's the thing, though, right? We were watching the Zygon version the other day. We were watching The Speech.
Yup.
Everyone talks about how great Capaldino is, and yes, he's the best actor to ever play the Doctor, and the best Doctor. That's not the point, though. The point is this, my dear people. No one talks about how the actor playing Kate Stewart, who I can't remember, and Jenna Coleman give, like, world-class performances in that scene as well.
Yeah.
And they don't really have that much dialogue, and every single line they, like, nail. And all the, like, reaction scenes are, like, amazing. Kate Stewart is, like, one of the biggest resources we have in, like, the modern Who franchise. And she needs to be in it more.
Yeah, she does.
She does.
She needs to be more than just, like, an Easter egg.
That was the end of my rant. So true. She deserves so much more. You know what? The Stewart name deserves so much more.
The Lethbridge Stewart name.
End of rant. What is the next bit?
The next bit is... I wish Azure had more to do. I wish...
I know!
Hot take, again.
Do it.
I mean, I don't think you agree, but I don't know.
This is going to be fun then. Let's do it.
I don't...
Step into the Thunderdome of ideas.
I don't think Swarm should have been in it either. I think Azure should have been number 1.
I'm about to rock your world, baby.
Okay.
I completely agree with you. Completely agree. For so many reasons, okay? Okay, so... Here's the deal from where I'm sitting, right? From where I'm sitting, when we look back at the whole of Flux, Azure is a way more interesting character with way more interesting motivations and drives than Swarm is. Like, so much more interesting. Because Swarm just has a hate boner for the Doctor.
I know,
there's
nothing
driven.
more. There's nothing more to him.
I know. That. Whereas Azure is a true believer in this weird, funky time religion they have.
Yeah.
And that's so much more dangerous and scary.
I know, and I loved her scenes without Swarm in them.
I know.
Like, even when she was in human form, it was just kind of like, oh my god, and then, like, when she had her scene, on the ridge, when she's getting people to come to her. And
one of the most interesting scenes in the season.
Yeah, I agree.
This is the
totally
thing. If you cut out all that extraneous bullshit, the idea of them being like false of her, because Swarm doesn't exist in our version of Flux.
Yeah.
Of her just being like this false prophet, quasi-religious figure. That's a really, really, really interesting new enemy for the Doctor, right? Yeah. Like a main season finale villain for the Doctor, and the reason why is twofold. Number one, you get rid of Swarm. The idea of Swarm and Azure being like an antithesis force, like engineered against the Doctor, makes way more sense if there's just one of them and they're a woman. Because 13 is a woman, in case anyone didn't know. 13 happens to be a woman. Right, that's one thing, right?
Yeah.
The other thing is, even though the Chibnall era has in some ways shied away from it and in some ways plunged way too far into it, there is the idea that the Doctor is a god figure.
Uh-huh.
Okay?
Yes.
And having a kind of like evil space pope be a main antagonist for a season really kind of chafes against that in like a nice juicy way that has lots of opportunities for characterization.
Yeah, for sure.
That's what I'm saying. That's my addition to your point about Azure being really underused in this.
Oh my god.
Whoa!
I know, I'm dying. I wish that, we could hear more of what Azur had to say. That conversation with her and the doctor, I feel like that was the most insight out of 6 episodes that we got into their beliefs, who they are.
It was so good.
Just everything. Yeah, it was everything. And I just wish we had more of that.
Me too, ma'am.
And
Me too.
I'm sad that we don't. Although,
I know.
I am concerned by her reaction to getting fluxed. The fact that she yells out Ascension.
I liked that.
I feel like that means that they're not dead.
I don't mind that.
I think that they turn back into those little bit thingies.
I don't mind. Because that means that Russell T Davies can bring them back and do them well. So, I mean, swings and roundabouts, really.
Yeah.
We didn't put up a spoiler warning at any point, but like, if you're listening to us, you know how it works at this point. That the spoiler is an illusion.
Yeah.
Spoiler warnings doubly so.
So the next thing that we're going to go into is the fact that the Lupari are completely killed off screen.
Oh, I know.
We see nothing. And they've been good boys all season.
I know.
They've
it's so
been
true.
the best boys. And they get disrespected in the worst way.
Completely dissed out, man.
And then at the end of that, all the doctor says to Carvanista is, "I'm so sorry."
Well, I mean, the thing is that David Tennant said that, and people really liked David Tennant. So that means that if she says "I'm so sorry," then it's just as good as the David Tennant era. That's how that works. I noticed, with regards to Carvanista being the best boy,
Yeah.
and the Lupari being very, very cruelly wiped out, they are the best species that Chris Chibnall has created in his run of Doctor Who. By
Yeah.
far. They're the most interesting concept that he has created by far in his run of Doctor Who. And he killed them all.
Hot take?
If you want to destroy really good things, Chris,
No.
then go right ahead.
No, listen. Hot take. He killed them because it was the best thing that he created. He doesn't want RTD.
These mine!
Yeah, exactly. He's like, I'll leave you with one.
You get one, Big Finish.
Yeah, you get one. Enjoy.
Oh my goodness. Are we on to the climax?
No, close. We're close. We're very close to the
get
climax.
excited, people.
So you wanted me to say this because I had offhandedly said this while we were watching the episode.
Okay.
So I will repeat it to the audience. The passenger is a field with one woman standing in it. And only hardcore Malcolm Tucker fans will get that. That's all I'll say on that. So we get to see Di be a secret MI6 agent.
I know. What is she?
Time. Yeah, I know. I just thought she was a humble.
I know. At one point, I was
museum.
just expecting her to be like, "So I found this stopwatch."
Yeah, right. I know. If you take a couple letters out of Diane, right?
Yeah.
And you put some in.
Yeah.
And then you take some out again, right?
Yeah.
Just one more time.
Yeah, because that's an important step, yes.
You get the master.
Woo! Yeah!
Here come the drums, baby. That just woke up our dog.
That bit kills every
It
single
woke
time.
up our
man.
Lupari.
Okay, so I want to talk because we're at like the climax part.
All right.
The big thing we got to talk about the history of oofs in this run of Doctor Who, leading up to this. Perhaps, maybe. No, it's the second biggest. No, the Nazi moment is still the biggest oof.
Yeah.
Okay. This is now number 2 though. Third is her shilling for the corporate fascists in Kablam.
Yeah.
The system was the problem.
It was.
Okay. In this, she, aside from the genocide of the Lupari, which I mean, well, that sucked, but that wasn't her fault. Okay.
We'll put it aside.
Right? She commits a triple genocide in this, a hat trick.
Genocide cubed, if you will.
Oh my god, that was good. Well done.
Yeah.
I don't have anyone any better than that.
Sorry.
You don't have to apologise, that was wonderful. Anyway, yeah, no, so I have a theory that I just came up with. Okay? Here's my theory, everyone, and I think he might do it. This is the thing. I say this.
Okay, yeah.
And this weird thing happens where I say things are gonna happen, and then they happen.
Yeah.
Okay, right? Here's the thing. She's had all these really, 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 really dodgy moral moments all throughout the series where basically she just becomes a villain for a few seconds. Like, they're really messed up.
Yeah.
And you can chalk it to bad writing, or maybe he's a secret genius this entire time, and now that he splintered the Doctor into multiple parts, what if maybe one of those parts we didn't see? What if there was a 4th one? You know, because it's between her 12th and final incarnation, right?
Yeah.
Here's the thing. You take 13th Doctor, you take out a few letters, and then you add a few, and then you take a few out, and then you add a few, and then you take a few out, and then you add just a few more, and you get the Valiard. 13 is the Valiard, confirmed.
Oh my
right
goodness.
Here on Imzadi Podcast.
Are you done?
I think so, yeah. I don't think I've got anything better than that.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. This is how...
Oh my god.
This is
we
how...
just stared at each other for a second.
This is how the climax of Flux felt, Chris. Now you know how it feels, Chris. The cat's tail is wagging over the mic, Chris. Ooh, that got away from me there for a second. I don't know what happened.
Yeah, I noticed.
That was strange. That was really weird. Just like the Flux.
Well, we're almost done, so you can cool off.
I don't know if I'm gonna make it.
Yeah, I know.
I don't want to go.
So I just want to point out that Jericho was very much wasted.
Wasted!
And like it's a shame, you know what I mean?
It is a real shame. Super shame.
And so I guess after that would be Belle and Vinder finally get together.
I know.
And we get one word dialogue between them.
Because that's all we really needed.
And then it was baby.
Baby.
And that was about it.
Yeah, there's no maybe to this baby.
Yeah, and I didn't like it.
You don't like it?
No, I enjoy the fact that they got back together, and it's just we had more time with Di and Dan and her being butthurt than Belle and Vinder and their love.
I know. It's true. Great allocation of time, Chris.
Yeah, I think that time management could have come into play here.
Oh yeah, pacing is like a huge issue with this story.
A lot of things didn't need to be there. A lot of things needed to be there. All in all, I'm never gonna watch this again.
10 out of 10.
Yeah. I feel like that's pretty much all I got on it. If other people enjoyed it, good on you. You know, I don't hate Jodie either. Like, I'm looking forward to... No, I'm looking forward to the audios.
No, that's not why I was laughing, babe. The reason why I was laughing is because of the fact that we have to say that.
No, I mean, I think I do, though, because for 6 episodes, we've been shitting on Jodie and her run. Like, I think I do need to say that at the end of this, at the end of Flux, I do feel a little bit differently about Jodie.
How do you feel?
Well, just better about her. And I wish we got to see more of this Doctor throughout her run.
I could not agree more.
Everything's too little, too late, and I'm ready to move on now because she's hurt my feelings.
I don't think it was her that hurt your feelings. I think it was a certain showrunner that hurt your feelings. Because at the end of the day, I think, as I said at another point in this series, you can't do anything if the script is bad.
No, I know.
You're doomed, basically.
That's
true. And these scripts have been really, really, really shoddy. Even the best ones have had serious structural problems. And a really, really big, microcosm, weird, but bear with me, of this series' problems with subtlety and delivering messages and managing audience expectations and treating the audience like they're fucking stupid.
Yes.
We're not.
You're not, yeah.
I mean, we probably are, but shut up.
We're like average, at least, though.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a little below average, but it's okay.
Continue.
Yeah, here we go. The bit where they would say, the bit where Time, I don't know where that went away from me there. The bit where Time says, Master! Because, like, we joke about that, but, like, you think about Bad Wolf, you think about the bees are disappearing! Yes. You think about Harold Saxon. Like, they're trying to do that, but they're not even attempting to have a bit of mystery. And it is so incredibly insulting that 13 just goes, what do you mean, Master?
Yeah, I know.
What's the significance of that? I can't think of any reason that word, Master, could possibly have any significance to me, the 13th Doctor.
Ugh. You'll find out next year.
Yeah, eventually. Maybe.
Yeah.
Probably not.
Who knows?
Ooh.